First, I think it's a nice idea, and I would be happy to get into a restaurant and just click on that screens and to get my meals. It's pretty nice idea, and the presentation itself it's very logic and understandable. I would like to touch to refer 2 points here. First of all, since Microsoft is your competitors, I would like, and it's okay. It's fine to compete against others, and it just said that there is a market out there, but you have to present your competitive advantage. Why your product is better in such and such factors than the product out there. And I can say that I understand that from your presentation. Secondly, you're thinking locally. First, we will conquer the Vancouver area. After that, some other area in BC, and who knows, 5 years ahead, it will reach Edmonton. I'm exaggerating purposely, but the main idea, and I think I said that before, if you're thinking about a new company, it should be something big, and you should think globally from day one. Never thinking about the province, about Canada, about North America. If your product is good enough and you really stand behind it, think globally.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I thought it was quite a neat idea. I don't know that it's a market that I understand enough because it's appealing to a younger crowd, but I can certainly believe that a younger crowd would find it interesting. I was somewhat in shock when you first said that you were going up against the gorilla in the market. Microsoft's not going to fool around. So you better have something that is a distinctive advantage that can weather that, because if it's a product that's just replicating more or less what Microsoft is, the fact that they're not in this market yet doesn't matter at all. They'll go after you, and they'll drop their price right away to go after you, so they can take you out in no time at all. And you aren't giving away very much of the company, so you don't have a lot of cash to fool around with. The one thing that I thought was really interesting, and I don't know whether that's in your business plan, is you're trying to get customers to part with their money. In the direct customer is really these chains, but they're also interested in a piece of getting a bit more of the customer's money into their pocket. So if you're going to have these games, then some of the games are for free. Some of these games, like Monopoly, however, could have people sitting there for hours and hours and hours playing a game on Monopoly and using up valuable space. So you want to figure out, you want to play this level of game, you're going to pay for that, and they'd probably be willing to pay for that. And then some would go back to the chain, and some would stay with you. But you've got a challenge unless you can address how you're going to stay ahead of the gorilla, because he'll come after you right away.
You know what you're doing. This is good. There are people already starting from one of your features called pushing the button to call the waiter instead of going like this. So anyway, coming back to the real thing. Presentation is very well organized. Your selling feature actually should focus more on operational efficiency and environmental friendly technique. During the recession, or if there is a recession coming, I think the opportunity may be right, is that you want to improve the services and also provide a different customer experience to the customers. A couple of points. You may want to consider your pricing. Instead of selling a box and an IM table, is to sell a service. Now, if you talk about Microsoft going after the market, the Microsoft service product, it definitely will not be just a box. It will be a whole product, meaning product and services. So your low-hanging fruit right now is to go after the early adopters. People are looking for operational efficiencies, cutting down the labor cost, and also cutting down the trees because they have to write orders and then hand it over to the kitchen. So this is very good. And from the dollar amount that you're asking for a little much money, but you're not giving up too much of a percentage. So you may want to kind of sit down and do a little pull and push. Anyway, well done.
Yeah, I liked it too, you guys. You started off pretty well. I thought you might have gone a little bit deeper into why restaurants would love it and why consumers would love it, and try to bring out a little bit more, maybe financially bring out a little bit more of what both would love. You know, when usually those two things happen together, it results in a pretty good product. I would have liked to seen you guys leverage other technology trends a little bit better. And, you know, I know that's hard to do when you're in school all the time. But, you know, one of the things I would advise you not to be as a hardware company. I think this might be a better all-software play. And you've got all kinds of companies out there screaming for mobile applications. RIM just launched a new fund. The iPhone has an entire development community. It might be interesting to launch an all-software, you know, component that customers could download, that restaurants could play part in too. And, you know, that would lower your costs essentially to your first rev of software, and you wouldn't have to go, you know, after the big money. You could build into it, you know, through a consumer app, which could be funded by funds specifically focused on funding these types of consumer apps. And I can tell you for sure, RIM and iPhone are hungry for, you know, these types of consumer applications. And thirdly, you know, I agree with whatever speaker said. Don't worry, or not to worry too much about Microsoft. This is the precise kind of market Microsoft will screw up completely. And you could pray to God Ray Ozzie owns it, because that would double your chances of it going badly for him. But this is a G market for Microsoft. So if you can put an A team together and compete with Microsoft's D or G team in a focused market niche, I wouldn't worry so much about them. But you got to admit, Microsoft's going to own a lot of the integration on the back end of the billing and, you know, all those other things. So they, I think it was one of the panels said they'll be giving this away. That is a risk for sure, because they'll own enough of the rest of the you know, the restaurant software business to make it worth their while to do so. But anyways, yeah, I thought it was a good idea.